You got something. I quickly called my husband as he was headed for an overseas business trip. But no matter how many times I called or emailed, I got no reply from him. Then by chance, I discovered my husband's affair. So the business trip was a lie. How could he deceive me like that? I won't forgive him. As unaware of my vengeful thoughts, my husband called, sounding all cheerful. Just landed. So what did I forget? You left your passport behind. And that's when I lit the beacon of my revenge. My name is Lily. I've been married to Tom for 4 years now. We don't have any children, so we live freely, just the two of us. He works for a regular company and has weekends off. I, on the other hand, work at a beauty spa, so I work on weekends. Therefore, we hardly have any days off together. I can't even remember the last time we went out together. Due to the nature of my job at the spa, I often get clients who are about to get married. So naturally, honeymoon travel stories come up quite a bit. One lady I worked on today said she's going to Italy soon. Hearing that, my desire to go on a trip with just the two of us grew even stronger. A vacation sounds so good. It's been a while since Tom and I went on one. When I got home from work, he wasn't back yet. Back in the day, I'd often come home late and he'd have dinner ready for me. Not lately. He's been working overtime for months now, it seems. In the end, he got home past 11 p.m. Even though he'd been working late, he seemed to be in a good mood, so I didn't hold back. Hey, one of my clients today said she's going on her honeymoon to Italy. We went to Mexico for ours, remember? We haven't been on a trip since then. I've got plenty of vacation days left. Let's match our days off and go on a trip. It doesn't have to be overseas. Even somewhere in the States is fine. Now, all I could think about was the trip. He said the idea of spending several days, just the two of us, made me giddy with excitement. But to my dismay, Tom didn't seem too keen. Well, I'm swamped at work for a while. He suggested, why don't you go by yourself? That way you won't have to worry about coordinating days off with me. It's not the same without him. I wanted to go together, but I had to bite back those words. It seemed we had different levels of interest. He seemed to have no interest in traveling. Seeing him like that, I decided to step back. And for a while, I sulkily browsed travel websites. Maybe I should just go by myself, like he said. But I felt it wouldn't be right to leave him behind. One day, out of the blue, Tom dropped a bombshell. I have to go on a business trip overseas during the holidays. Seeing my reaction, he frowned. I can't help it. I know you want to go on a trip, but this is work. It's not a vacation. He added, so no complaints, okay? I hadn't even said anything yet. I was so irritated by Tom's words that I retorted, sulking. I was just surprised by the term overseas business trip. He'd never had one before. And isn't everyone usually off during the holidays? They recognized his hard work, and he was selected. He'll be going to China. They only have New Year's Day off, and then it's business as usual. Oh, I asked, when are you leaving?
I'll be heading to China before Christmas, doing some prep work, and then getting to my assignments.
Sure enough, when I checked, it was just as he said. In China, only New Year's Day is a holiday. December is until the 31st, and it seems that there are many companies that operate normally from the 2nd of January. So we won't be spending the holidays together. At the one time in the year when we can relax and spend quality time together is during the holidays. We can't go on a vacation, and now even the holidays are off the table. Feeling lonely, an idea came to my mind. "Oh, I got it!" I exclaimed. "Maybe I should come with you. At work humans, then we can spend time together. It's when you're working, I can just tour around on my own." I thought it was a brilliant idea and got all excited. However, his words quickly shattered my hopes. "You gotta be kidding me," he said. "It's a business trip? Who brings their wife on a business trip?" He clearly showed his irritation and raised his voice. Except I was speechless, and he quickly went off to the bathroom. What's his deal? He didn't have to get that mad. Even after he came out of the bathroom, Tom was still in a bad mood. The conversations about vacations and business trips became awkward. After that, our conversations became fewer and fewer. His cold attitude only made my feelings of dissatisfaction grow. Time flew, and by late December, the cold had set in. Tom, who was scheduled to go on a business trip to China, seemed a bit excited. It's a trip abroad after all, I understood. But he should consider my feelings too. I'll be spending both Christmas and New Year's alone. Seeing his enthusiasm, I couldn't help but get irritated. Regardless of my feelings, he cheerfully tapped my shoulder. "Well, I'm off on my business trip tomorrow. Please take care of things at home." I responded, Yeah, got it." "Now don't be so moody," I added. "I'll make sure to bring you back a souvenir." I said, "Anyway, I gotta hit the hay. I have an early start tomorrow." At that, he quickly went to the bedroom. I thought to myself, why does he get to have all the fun? And I added, he better bring me back loads of souvenirs. The next day, I listed a bunch of souvenirs for him to get and saw Tom off. The phone rang after I had finished up some chores. It was an email from my brother Carl. "Tom's on a business trip starting today, huh?" He wrote. "Why don't you come over for the holidays? Carl still lives at our parents' house. He's on and off with jobs. Even though he handles everything smoothly, he doesn't stick to a regular job, much to our parents' chagrin. But I've always adored Carl. Whenever I had a problem, Carl was the first person I'd consult. It's with his invitation, I started considering going back home. At people, I was going to be alone anyway, so spending New Year's at my parents' might be nice. Should I book a train ticket now? I sat on the couch, checking the train schedule on my phone. Suddenly something caught my eye. Incredibly, Tom's passport was left on the desk. I immediately called Tom, but no matter how many times I tried, I couldn't get through. I sent him multiple messages, but he didn't respond. I thought I should head straight to the airport. I reached out to Carl for help. "Carl, Tom left his passport. Can you try and hold him up at the airport? I'm on my way too." After that, I sent Carl the details of Tom's flight to China and quickly jumped on a train. Hence, even while on the move, I tried calling Tom several times, but still, no answer. While panicking, I received an email from Carl. I couldn't believe what I was reading. I just boarded a train, and guess who's here, Tom? What's going on? Attached to Carl's email was a photo. When I opened the image file, it showed Tom and an unknown woman holding hands on the train. Realization hit me instantly, and anger surged through me. So the business trip was a lie. I won't forgive this. You'll regret betraying me. I immediately reached out to Carl. Carl, forget what we talked about earlier. Instead, I want you to take lots of photos of Tom with that woman. Got it. Carl probably had a hunch. Without asking any more questions, he started following Tom right away. Later, I met up with Carl at the airport. Watching on Carl's phone were numerous cozy photos of Tom and the woman. According to Carl, their destination wasn't China, but Texas. They were headed to a highly rated, romantic bed and breakfast in Texas. He says on the train, they were loudly discussing their plans while looking at a travel magazine, so Carl quickly figured out their destination. Then Carl turned to me and asked, "So what's the plan? This is clearly a romantic getaway, huh?" We'll confront them. Excuse me? I'm going to show up at their vacation spot. I won't let them enjoy their trip peacefully. Peacefully? What? Cut the crap. Tom went silent, but my fury didn't subside. Did you really think I'd fall for that? I know everything. You're in Texas, right? That's why you didn't notice you left your passport behind, huh? What are you talking about? I'm on a business trip in China. You're still saying that? I told you, I know everything. That you're in Texas and you're on a cheating vacation. I know all about it. Now, at those words, the call with Tom suddenly ended. He must have hung up realizing the jig was up. But it was too late. Minutes later, I received a text from Carl. They're here in the hotel lobby. Knowing that I was onto him, Tom would probably try to change hotels. Expecting that, Carl and I were waiting in the lobby. Upon seeing us, Tom's eyes widened in shock. But behind him was the same woman from the photos. I marched straight up to him and confronted him, making him go pale. Eventually, it's not what you think. My business trip destination changed last minute to Texas. I swear, nothing shady's happening. In this situation, who do you expect to believe that? Who's that woman behind you, huh? This lady is a junior from my company. She came on the business trip with me. I can't believe he's still making excuses after all this. I opened the email I received from Carl and thrust it in front of Tom. What about this? How will you explain? If you two were just on a business trip, you wouldn't be holding hands, would you? When did you get that? I shot him a fierce glare. It's no use denying it. There's the evidence. You can't run anymore? I could hear Tom catching his breath in front of me. I shifted my gaze to his mistress. Do you know that he's a married man? What do you plan to do with him?
Wait a sec, Tom. You said your wife would never find out.
That's why I agreed to be with you.
Whoa, Eileen, that's not important right now. It is. Your wife's been giving me a death glare. It's as if I'm the one at fault here. Just for the record, it was your husband who came on to me first. This Eileen, as she was named, pointed fingers at Tom, saying it's all Tom's fault. But the thought that he chose her over me made my blood boil. Losing my temper and forgetting we were in the lobby, I yelled, "You gotta be kidding me." It's not about who's at fault. You both are. Even if Tom made the first move, you went along with it, knowing he's married. I'll make sure both of you pay for this. Tom turned pale at my words. On the other hand, his girlfriend suddenly became bold. That's sending us to hell? What's a woman scorned like you even saying? Excuse me? As I was chosen by him? No matter what happens next, you're the one who'll end up alone. Tom and I are going to be together soon. I won't be the one going to hell. Right, Tom? You said you'd be divorcing your wife soon. She flirted with her eyes towards Tom. But he, after glancing between the two of us, took a deep breath and said, I won't marry you. The only woman I love is Lily. You and I have been drifting apart, so you were just a distraction. Today is the end of our affair. I'm going back to Lily. Seeing Tom breaking up with her, she looked devastated. Ignoring her, he started apologizing to me.
Lily, I'm so sorry. I don't know what came over me. I promise I won't cheat again. We've just been spending too much time apart and I felt lonely. And I'll only think of you from now on. Oh, did you want? We can even go on a vacation right now. Please forgive me.
Did he think a simple apology would make everything okay? His night thought angered me even more. Vacation now? You've got to be kidding. You should have gone with me from the beginning. He chose her over me. Don't think sweet talk will fix this. I will never forgive you both. We're getting a divorce. I'll be demanding more than the usual alimony. Why? We've been together for 4 years. Can't you cut me some slack? You betrayed your wife of 4 years, and that would be you. You're getting a lawyer to claim alimony? We don't need that. We can just start over. No need to waste money. This unwavering belief that he's in the right made me beyond furious. At this point, Carl, who had been observing the situation, intervened. Alrighty then, he said. Elections. I know a top-notch lawyer who could help you out. He once helped me, and I'm sure he'd give us a discount. Nice one, Carl. Carl and I forced Eileen to give up her contact info and left the two of them, still in shock, behind. Later on, I hired Carl's lawyer friend and claimed more than the usual alimony from Tom and Eileen. The divorce with Tom went smoothly, and I was back to being single. As for Tom, Eileen exposed their affair, and they both had to resign from their jobs. She's now suing him, claiming she was deceived by Tom. And Tom, he's countersuing her for defamation. They're stuck in a mess, spending money left and right. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't have an ounce of sympathy. It serves them right. But sure, as for my brother Carl, after this incident, he decided to work as a private investigator. Being a pie is my true calling, he said. At this time, I'll stick with it. We'll see how that turns out. I just hope I never have to ask Carl to do any investigations for me ever again. Thank you for watching the video all the way to the end.